A very good day to you and welcome to the program. It's a beautiful autumn day. We're standing on the edge of the forest and we've got a special message for you. I want to speak about self-preservation. In other words, looking after yourself. In other words, saying, I'm all right, Jack. I'm doing my own thing and I don't care about the rest of you. Folks, you'll never ever achieve self-preservation. In fact, your worst enemy, my worst enemy, is myself. What we've got to do is we've got to look to the Lord to take care of our needs. I'm not saying that you and I must become irresponsible. I'm not saying that you mustn't use a doctor. I'm not saying that you mustn't use an accountant for your books. I'm not saying that you mustn't get an advisor to show you what to do on your farm. But what I'm saying is your trust must be in the Lord. If we go to the Word of God in 2 Chronicles, chapter 18 and from verse 28, this is what the Word of God says. And so the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. Verse 29. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and go into battle, but you put on your robes. So the king of Israel disguised himself and they went into battle. Now you see, straight away you can see exactly what Ahab was doing. Ahab was so clever, he wanted Jehoshaphat to be killed by the enemy because obviously they're going to look for the king and they'll kill him. And Ahab dressed up as just one of the ordinary soldiers. Self-preservation. But look what happens here from verse 30. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of the chariots who were with him, saying, fight with no one small, but only with the king of Israel. So in other words, find the king and kill him, and then we'll win the battle. And so it was when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat that they said, it is the king of Israel. Therefore they surrounded him to attack. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Lord helped him. And God moved them to turn away from him. And so it was when the captains of the chariots saw that it was not the king of Israel, that they then turned back from pursuing him. Now a certain man drew a bow at random, just a random shot, and struck the king of Israel between the joints of his armor. And so he said to the driver of his chariot, turn around and take me out of the battle, for I am wounded. The battle increased that day, and the king of Israel propped himself up in his chariot facing the Syrians until evening, and about that time of sunset he died. Our trust is not in ourselves. Our trust is in the Lord. Psalm 20 verse 7. Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. Folks, there's a prime example where Ahab, who was a terrible king, he fooled Jehoshaphat. You dress up like the king and I'll dress up like an ordinary soldier. Obviously Jehoshaphat was very foolish. He listened and he got surrounded. But the Lord delivered him. Why? Because he called out to God. I don't know what your position is at the moment. I don't know what it's like on the farm, in the home, at school, in the hospital. But if you call out to the Lord, He is the one that will preserve you. Self-preservation is selfish, it never lasts, and it's very, very temporal. Start to look to the Lord. Seek the Lord with all your heart. Folks, I'm telling you, it works. I'm speaking from experience. When you've got nothing, you cry out to God in faith and earnestness, and He answers your prayers. You must do that as well. Take all your other precautions, but look to the Lord to save your life. God bless you. Until next time, goodbye.
We trust that you have been blessed by today's message. For more information, please visit angusbuchan.com.